Hello everybody, and welcome to this video. It's really lovely to have you all here, and thank you so much for all the birthday wishes yesterday and your donations. It really means a lot to me, and it's just so supportive. And I want to give a special thank you to Jordan and Shelly, as I haven't got to thank you guys on the community forum yet, or the community section. I just wanted to, thank you personally. Yeah, it's just so helpful, and I'm just so grateful to all of you, just for even being here, just for watching, just for witnessing my journey. Yeah, it's just, it's really special to me. And so I wanted to start today by saying that. And today's video is really inspired, first of all, by my solar plexus, by my power centers, which are starting to become a lot more developed, which is really helpful when it comes to living life on Earth. I know coming up on 6 years ago, my Kundalini awakened, and I've become really developed in my upper chakra centers, really developed in the crown, the third eye, obviously the throat, the heart, which has been very profound and just a tremendous blessing. But I've noticed it's been hard for me at times to really bring all of those gifts from the upper chakras down into Earth, to really live an actualized, to really actualize those lives in an earthly way. It's been a struggle, it's been difficult. And a lot of the reason for that is I feel for myself as I've had more of an underdeveloped kind of experience when it comes to my power, my power centers, the solar, the hara or sacral, and the root. And if we're underdeveloped in those areas, yeah, life's going to be a pretty bumpy ride. Because if we're disconnected from our power, it doesn't matter how many cities we have and kind of upper chakra gifts we have, it's going to be very hard to anchor all of that, all of those beautiful blessings and openings. It's going to be hard to anchor all of that information and everything into Earth, into this human body, into this human experience. So if we're just really open up here, but we're disconnected from our power, probably going to get knocked around a lot by life, and we're going to feel kind of at the mercy of life. Victim consciousness can take a hold of us. Life will just feel like too much. And that's been one of my patterns is flight. And we'll feel like we have to run a lot. And it's so interesting how life is the law of mirroring. Life is always mirroring to us our own inner states. And, given what I'm going through now, I feel like that's what life is trying to do for me. Life is trying to show me where I can grow more, where I can expand more. Life is trying to show me or expose to me my quote unquote weaknesses. And one of the ways that life has done that for me is by pulling me into the situation that I'm currently in. Where if you've been following past videos, there's a lot of darkness in my environment. And I'm realizing, it's really interesting, I'm realizing that this darkness, it's very dominant. It has this very kind of intense, dominant presence. And for me to reside here in peace, I'm realizing that I have to be in my power at all times. It's like the darkness is always trying to expose us. However, we're perceiving the darkness out here. And whatever meaning we're giving to the darkness externally, all it's ever trying to do is to expose to us where we are disconnected from our power. And that's one of the things that I grew up, in childhood. I had really dominant male influences. And I didn't get to be in my power. I really had to disconnect from my power to be safe. I never really was able to stand up for myself. I had to really shut down in my power centers. I really closed down. And I'm noticing here that when I start closing down in my power centers, it feels like I'm getting really attacked. Whereas when I stay open in my power centers, I start to feel like the biggest thing here, the most powerful thing in the room. And so I just thought that was interesting, how life will mirror to us certain things about ourselves. Like how, growing up, through my trauma with the masculine, my power center shut down. I got disconnected from my power. Me being in my power, it just wasn't safe for the masculine around me. And so the masculine around me was in its power, and it was really dominant. And I just felt like I had to, I couldn't stand up for myself, I just couldn't be upright, and I felt like I had to just get really small to be safe. And so I'm facing that similar type of energy here in a different form of darkness. And it's actually helping me kind of step back into my power there. It's helping me reclaim my power where once I had to give it away. Because in childhood, we have to sometimes give our power away to be safe, or to survive, and to continue having attachment to the people who are, responsible for our survival. It's like we don't have a choice. We have to shut down there. We have to shut down in our power centers. We have to not stand up for ourselves. We have to repress and suppress our rage. But then when we come into adulthood, that changes. But some of us still carry over those patterns from childhood of learned helplessness, of victimhood, of not standing up for ourselves, of people pleasing, of I don't want to rock the boat because things can get really scary and dangerous. And so life is going to continually be trying to help us let go of those patterns that we had to learn in childhood to survive. And so that's what this energy is doing. It's so intense. And if you watched one of the videos with Haunted Falls, she was even telling me, wow, it's a strong one, and he's dominant and all of these things. So this type of darkness, it reminds me of childhood a lot. And it was the type of darkness that I would shut down to. But now I'm realizing, hey, I'm an adult. I don't have to do that anymore. I can let go of that old pattern, and I can be in my power even when there's intense darkness around me. I can show up and shoot videos and work with clients and continue to eat healthy and continue to live this empowered existence that is one with God, regardless of what kind of things are going on around me that, may be uncomfortable. It's like this activation of my power is really coming online. And it's the darkness that is, I'm getting chills saying this, it's the intelligence of life bringing me this darkness that has brought this about in such a major way. And this leads me into something really beautiful that someone wrote me in an email, someone who I feel needs to believe in themselves a bit more and to let go of their own doubting nature. And this person, I'm speaking to you, you need to know that you know the truth, that you are very wise, and to trust yourself. And this is what they wrote. And I told them to post this in the comments, but they were like, I don't know if it's true and this and that. So I asked them, I was like, hey, can I talk about it on a video? I won't say your name. And they were obviously, they were really cool with that. So here's what they said. Maybe trauma causes holes around us. So-called evil spirits, maybe they're just matching energy, come to us through these holes to show us where we can become whole. And I was just like, when I read that, I just instantly attuned with that as so true. And then I saw how that is mirroring in my own experience with this darkness that I'm encountering here in this Airbnb. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. This darkness is helping me become more whole. It's just showing me the holes that got created in my childhood trauma, where I became very disempowered. And I'm not blaming anyone here for any of this. This is just ancestral trauma passed down. This is not personal. And so I just thought that was so succinct. And yes, anything we encounter in life, I want to tell you guys, anything we encounter in life, whether we call it a demon or an angel or good or bad, darkness or light, anything we encounter is only here to help us become more whole, is only here to bring us back to our truth, is only here to help us live a more empowered life, is only here to help us become who we are meant to be in this lifetime. That's it. It's all God. It's all the divine. It's all you. It's all me. It's all a mirroring game of ourself, just helping us to remember who we are, just helping to show us where we've been disconnected from truth. It's like the darkness is here to serve you in your highest evolution. Yeah, and I wrote the darkness is actually just a catalyst to helping birth a new version of me, to help birthing a new version of me that's empowered, that is actually open in my solar plexus and my sacral and my root chakras, that it actually feels safe here on earth. The darkness is just like poking at me saying, hey, you are kind of weak here. You're really not activated in these energy centers. So I'm just going to keep poking at you and attacking you until you open there, until you come into your power there, until you become embodied in that place. And then the darkness that was once so overwhelming and felt so attacking, it no longer bothers us anymore. We don't even really know it's there because we're embodied, because we've become integrated and healed in that area that the darkness was trying to help us heal in. That's the only reason life sends us anything of this kind of dark nature. It's because it's trying to propel us into a higher state of being, where we're not fragmented, where we don't have, like someone wrote to me, kind of these holes, you could say, in our energy field. It's like, yeah, it's just exposing where we have holes in our energy field or vulnerabilities so that we can get strong there and fortified there so that nothing can truly fuck with us there anymore. So thank the darkness. It's like, it's trying to pull you up. It's trying to get you to really be in your fucking power. It's like, for me, I know as I go through this experience, it's like this kind of darkness, I'm getting so flooded in chills. It's like nothing can fuck with me as I go through this. I'm realizing this is getting me rooted in something that's just unharmable. It's getting me connected to my unharmable nature. Like, what a blessing it's been to come here. Like, what divine orchestration to bring me right to where I needed to be. And every moment my mind tries to come up with a reason why we should leave and flee the situation and take flight, I just feel back into the truth. What is the truth? And the truth has always said the same exact thing. Very, very immediately, it's been one word every time, and it's been stay. Stay. The darkness is my teacher. This darkness is bringing me home to myself, to my true self. And yeah, I didn't plan to say a lot of the stuff I'm saying. This video might be all over the place, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think that's another thing I wrote. Going into the darkness. The darkness is going to bring us into the darkest parts of ourselves, like the law of mirroring. It's just showing us, like, if you feel like you're facing overwhelming darkness, it's actually taking you to the places where you feel like a victim and you feel disempowered. And you feel like, I can't do this. I'm powerless. It's like any form of external darkness is just taking you into those places of your psyche and your energy field so that you can bring light there, so that you can become whole there. Just kind of like that email said. I know it's just like that email is so perfect for this video. It's like that's all the darkness is doing. It's taking you to those places. And then you get healed there, and then that outer darkness doesn't affect you anymore because you're healed there. And maybe life brings you something else to show you here. That's all this is, to get you built out, to heal all that childhood trauma or even past life trauma that you went through, so that you can become this, really aligned version of yourself, this fearless version of yourself. So yeah, that's the video. As I continue to not embrace the old pattern of running when things start to feel really uncomfortable or overwhelming, and I stay here, I start to feel much more embodied. And I'll just leave you with this other thing I wrote down. For the desires that God planted in our heart to manifest, we must gently let go of old patterns. Mine is running. Choosing to stay, even amidst the darkness, is bringing a whole new reality online where I am more empowered and abundant. I got chills after I said that. That's how our reality changes, is we let go of old patterns and old aspects of ourself that we've outgrown through challenges. It's like if we want to live in a new reality, life's going to bring us the challenges necessary to shed the old versions of ourselves, to shed the old patterns that were keeping us in a certain type of timeline, you could say. So if you want to become a certain person or you want to live a certain reality, well, life's going to bring you exactly what you need to grow into the person that can hold that reality. Because life doesn't reflect to you what you want, it reflects to you who you are. And I can feel as I'm going through this, how it's transforming me and who I'm becoming because of the challenge of it, because of the overwhelming nature of it, because how it's calling me into this higher state of power, into this more, embodied state of being. Because yeah, as I stay here, I just get more and more embodied in these places where I've been so disembodied in my life, where I've been so disconnected from my power or so shut down. So anyways, I hope that helps. Sending you all so much love. Thanks again for the donations. They really help support this journey. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Namaste.